Hey folks, it's Maxie here and welcome to another TEW2020 video. You join us for a go-home show for Hard to Kill. And I'd like to think this episode really does put the pay-per-view card into focus. I don't think it's the most in-depth pay-per-view we're going to have. I think there's maybe only 7 matches, but to me it's stacked and I think it really is going to set the bar for a very good pay-per-view. I'm thinking as well we are likely to go with Ronda Rousey in the main event, but there is actually, when you get a couple of options to go main event, it's a good decision a good problem to have to make a decision on. So without further ado, let's crack on to the final taping before Hard to Kill. So it's turned out we've had 1,139 people in attendance at the Dusty Rhodes Field, and I decided to start the show with the 4 tag teams that have been competing in the World Tag Team Championship match, of course that being FTR, the Hardys, the Young Bucks and the Inflictors of Pain. Just really here we had everybody pleading their cause of why they are the best team, whether the most powerful, as is the IOP, the most experienced, as in the Hardys, the most technical, as in the FTR, or just the best all round in their opinion, the Young Bucks. So 4 teams offering their opinions of why they are the best tag team in the world. Nothing, in terms of contact, just basically 4 teams giving their words, and it gives us a 66 rating. Matt Jackson's got a gimmick that's getting stale. Jeff benefited from a hot new catchphrase, and he also came across well. A 66 is a very solid opening promo. In terms of in-ring action, we had a match that had good heat and decent wrestling. Eric Young defeated Heath in the opener in 8:03 with a spiked pile driver. So 2 veterans here in action, and Eric Young picks up the win in the 54 rated matchup. But where is Joe Doring? And that is because Matt Riddle has absolutely destroyed Big Joe Doring backstage, meaning that when Riddle and Eric Young come to blows at Hard to Kill, Joe Doring will be nowhere in sight. So a 53 here as Riddle takes out Joe Doring. Then have some words from Chris Hero as he hypes the match up at the event with Claudio Castagnoli. This was a 60 rated segment where Hero just goes on about the history with Claudio, and he just basically says he knows all of Claudio's weaknesses and strengths, and he feels he is the proper wrestling artist and a student of the game which will steer him to victory. He'll be studying Claudio's match later this evening. We had some Knockouts tag team action, which was a very decent matchup. So the team of Thunder Rosa and Venny defeat Dino Purrazzo and Kimberly in 12-16, with Thunder Rosa pinning Kimberly with a reverse DDT. A 51 here, 4 very similar performances, with Thunder Rosa's sticking out the most. We then have Ronda Rousey try to attack Thunder Rosa, and they have a proper brawl at the back where the security team tries to separate them to no avail until they go off screen. That gathered a 65 rating. And while this happens, in the ring, Venny is being attacked by Kimberly and Diona, obviously upset that they lost, and the save was made by Hiroyo Matsumoto, who comes in and saves Venny from a serious beating. So in these 2 angles, this one being a 41 rated segment, we progress to the Knockouts Championship match, and we set our Knockouts Tag Team Championship match, which will be Matsumoto and Venny versus Kimberly and Diona Purrazzo. Claudio now in action, as he had a matchup that had great heat and good wrestling, as Claudio Castagnoli defeated Evil Uno in 9:59 with a neutralizer. A 59 rated matchup here. Of course, Uno is now a singles athlete, with Stu Grayson moving forward in his career on a written contract elsewhere. Claudio getting better his gimmick and a very acceptable 64 rated performance. Moving on, we have a few words from Claudio, and he just says he hopes that Chris Hero studied this matchup and got a real good understanding of what Claudio Castagnoli is all about, but he says he's got more tools that he's ready to add to his arsenal and that Chris Hero won't be prepared for. We then had a match that had good heat and decent wrestling, with Richard Holiday defeating Cousin Jake in 12:06 with a market crash thanks to interference from EC3. So a 53 rated matchup here, and that alliance with EC3, Dango let's say Cousin Jake there, and Richard Holiday proving to come to fruition. So a 53 there, good win for Richard Holiday. Moose cuts some words. He says he's been listening to what Chad Betts has been saying, and he wants to show, that he is one of the top champions in Impact Wrestling, and a guy that couldn't hack it elsewhere ain't going to have no chance against Moose. 57. We then have Suicide, not to do colour commentary as such, but he's just going to sit there and observe the X Division matchup that will be happening. So that's a 49. And that matchup was good heat, decent wrestling. Chris Bay with a win over TJP in 9:54 with a triple C. 43, a bit disappointing. Had to make it my storytelling matchup. Had to protect TJP because he wasn't willing to put Chris Bay over. I don't like TJP, so he's putting people over. So the reality is, we took a tank in the rating to make sure Chris Bay gets the win. And the main event for the evening was about that had superb wrestling and great heat, as Fenix and the Inflictors of Pain got the win over Pentagon and FTR in 13:34 when Fenix pinned Cash Wheeler with a Meteora. 6 stellar performances brings us a 66 rating. There was a temptation to put Penta over, but I felt like in this instance that Fenix could take some overness away from Cash Wheeler, thus the champion stands tall. But after the matchup, Pentagon gets his hands on a ladder and he just beats down Fenix, stands with the championship belt as we close the show with a 50 rated segment. An overall show of 63, a popularity increase in 28 regions, and a hell of a stacked pay-per-view coming up. So I'm going to quickly jump back to the main screen so I can go and put a notepad up, and this will let you see the full card we have planned for the upcoming pay-per-view. But I'm really hopeful, and this is before I even add other matches to it if there's time, or the potential of people that could appear in the next 2 to 3 weeks, because you never know who could be released from WWE, etc., or AEW. I don't think there's anything there that directly affects us. Just obviously the tapings there were awesome, which is good. And Richard Holiday, will give him a 75% just to keep him happy. So that is what you're looking to see here. Ronda Rousey versus Thunder Rosa for the Knockouts Championship. The World Tag Team Championships, IOP versus the Hardys versus the Young Bucks versus FTR. Matt Riddle versus Eric Young. Television Championship is Moose versus Chad Betts. The World Championships is Fenix versus Pentagon Jr. We've got Claudio Castagnoli versus Chris Hero. We've got Suicide versus Chris Bay for the X Division Championship. And the Knockouts Tag Titles will be on the line as Matsumoto and Veni take on Deonna Purrazzo and Kimberly. It's been a long day. A very long day. But that is what we're looking to do, and that is what we're hoping to keep growing if it loads. Our size 54, 5 points away from medium. So let me know your predictions in the chat below, the description, comments, all that jazz. Let me know what you think, and hopefully we can have a stellar event. Thanks for watching. I'm probably going to go to sleep now. See you soon. Bye bye.